Good morning, I'm David Kern with the CBS Commodity Broking Services AM Debrief, and a bit of an interesting morning to be debriefing on in that the US had an interesting night, biggest fall in about a month. This is largely as a result of Standard & Poor's, the ratings agency, coming out and suggesting that the US could ultimately lose its AAA credit rating, which would, of course, increase the cost of their borrowing, and they certainly have some pretty substantial borrowings there. They revised their outlook, long-term outlook, from to negative rather, from stable. The market didn't take this very well, and we saw this the sell-off as a consequence, down 140 points, or 1.14%. The other major indices, S&P 500, down 1.1, and NASDAQ down 1.06. The rest of the Americas were down as well, with Brazil down the most of all. Over in Europe, similar picture, only slightly worse. Their debt situation, of course, is continuing down its inexorable path, and that's seen nearly everything, all of the majors down more than 2%. Milan 2.92, DAX 2.11, and the FTSE 2.10, and the CAC 2.35. So all big moves there. Our closing yesterday in our region was actually up slightly, which was kind of interesting to see. The Hang Seng down 177 and the Nikkei down 34, so reasonably small moves to the downside there. In terms of what the follow-on should be here, we're actually seeing quite a big move being suggested by the SPY futures contract, down 46 points. The Hang Seng down 183 and the Nikkei down 150, so quite a big move there anticipated by that futures contract there. Move over now and have a look at the what some of the commodities are doing. Fairly big moves in crude there, with West Texas down a couple of dollars. We've obviously got the new open here up 20, but certainly from yesterday that's a reasonably big move down. Natural gas seems to be starting to claw its way back up here, and often those two contracts move in opposite directions to each other. Brent's still above 120, and then in terms of our softs, I know that we continue to like, in terms of the grains, wheat. I really like soy and corn. If you're interested in looking at those in greater detail, then look at some of John O's segments, AM segments on Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays generally. In terms of other standouts here in the ag sector, looks like cocoa had a fairly big move down, 2.43 and 3.17 the future, the US dollar future, that is. Coffee 1.27, orange juice 0.45, and lumber down 2.17 is the other big mover there. In terms of big moves to the upside, wheat, as I mentioned, still really like, and what's soy doing there? Something under 1% move, and corn rather up 1.33. Now to copper, 4.23 and a half cents per pound. Put that out, which is up 1.8 cents. Gold making its inexorable push towards ringing that bell at $1,500, $1,495.60, and silver at 43.23, pushing up higher again. Didn't expect to see it get up there. In fact, we were tempted to short silver and go long gold as a pairs trade, but certainly wouldn't be making much of a return on that short silver position. Okay, moving on. Currencies. US dollar strength generally across the board here, as we can see all of the crosses here pretty much in the red. So euro buying a little bit less, pound buying actually pretty much square at 1.6266. The only challenger there was looks like the yen buying, or the US rather buying a few less yen, so yen strength at 1 point, or sorry, down 0.1935. The Aussie's trading just below 105, and the Canadian at 96.42, and not seen this for a little while. US dollar buying less than 9.9 of a Swiss franc. Okay, let's take a look at the economic calendar now. For Tuesday, the 19th of April, we've had, or rather are expecting some Eurozone consumer confidence numbers. And just looking at yesterday here, we did have some New Zealand consumer price index numbers year-on-year for the first quarter. That came in slightly less than forecast at 4.5, but still that's quite a solid move up there. Okay, we have our RBA board minutes out today for April, usually around 11:30 a.m. on that number. Then we've got some Japanese consumer household numbers and some machine order numbers. Going into this evening, some Eurozone Purchasing Managers Index numbers, and then out of Canada we have the CPI data there for the March quarter, expecting 2.8, previous was 2.2, so that's probably the number to watch tonight. Also some housing starts, and out of the US some housing starts as well for March, expecting 520,000 new homes, previous 497,000 new homes. Okay, so that's about it for the economic calendar. Let's take a quick look now at the Falcon Trader and the local index, the ASX S&P 200, the cash index of the local index there. So first thing that we see is this trend continuing down, and we would have thought that the first level of really solid support was going to be at 4,700. Perhaps we could see this coming off another 100 points in the next couple of trading sessions pretty easily, though, for a 4,750 downside, until we get some of this this news start to filter through the markets, and then some confidence starting to come back in on a dip. So just to I guess reiterate that we are getting towards the that month which the old truism, sell in May and go away, starts to have some resonance, and it's certainly looking like that here at the moment, that you ignore that at your peril. So I think that's pretty much everything here for today. So I'll let everyone get back to it and get on into the day, and until next time, thanks for your attention. Bye for now.